Welcome back to Sean's show, everyone. I'm here with George.
Hello.
We have an excellent show for you. As always, this week here at Sean's show, people that look like me are jumping for joy right now. I was just released from the Hamas prison that I was in. You may not know, but I actually record this show. George and I, we record this show from a Hamas detention camp underground from a Hamas tunnel. And so it's good to be back in Brooklyn. It's good to be back where I belong. And so I'm for 2 years just recording Sean's show from with Hamas just at gunpoint. We're doing this show is everything I've said up to this point has been done at Hamas gunpoint. So just so you know, now I can finally say what I really want to say, which is free Israel, obviously. Free Israel. No, of course, it's an interesting time right now for the hostages. There were 20, I believe, that were released that are now back in are out of captivity. And then on the other side, I believe we saw 1,900 Palestinian captives that were released back into Gaza as an exchange. And Trump is obviously celebrating this as, I believe he's saying that it's his eighth war. I believe that's one of the things that he said recently is this is the eighth war that he's stopped. Now that, I mean, it's like, what is it, October? When was he elected? I don't even know what fucking, it's been over, how long are we into his presidency? A year? When is the election? When is November 2024, right? So we're not even at an anniversary. It's been less than a year. So we're basically on like month 10 or 11 of his presidency, right? Or the inauguration. I don't even see, that's none of this shit matters anymore. Like he won. It's like Trump won. Trump won because I'm like, when is the inauguration again? Like he wants all of America to be like, I don't know. You know, I honestly could see Trump staying in office past 2028 just because Americans are like so brain rotted that we're like, when is the inauguration? Oh yeah. Wait, wasn't he supposed to leave? Like that's like Hitler took power by force and like by doing like a mass culling of everyone in the German government, and it was like very clear that he was taking power. I think Trump's gonna do it like in an even more lazy way where everyone is just like, wait, what? Hold on. What day? Shouldn't you have left? Shouldn't you have left? And he's gonna be like, no. So this is the eighth war that Trump has stopped, and that's crazy. I'm just saying that's like Trump saying that he stopped 8 wars is like hearing one of your guy friends telling you that he slept with 8 women at the same time. Like that's like the vibe. It's like, yeah, no, like I fucked 8 bitches, bro. Like total in your life? No, like at once, bro. It was crazy. Like, okay. 8 wars. He says he likes to stop. He stopped. He's going after the. I don't know. Obviously my reaction is that this is not going to last. You know, this is what political leaders do when they have nothing else going on. Is they like congratulate every like 4 years. The political leaders of the world get together and they shake hands and they sign pieces of paper, and then they go back to doing what they love best, which is planning for the next war. Because that is what's going on, is you have the leaders of all of these countries got together at like a peace summit. You know, they shake hands, they do a photo op, and they do a little speech written by some Yale graduate that is interning in DC, writes all the speeches, you know, with ChatGPT. They're probably using AI now. If I was a speechwriter, I would definitely use AI. I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll get you your speech. Then I would go on ChatGPT and be like, write me a speech about patriotism that actually secretly signals that we want a white ethno state again. Go! Because that's kind of the vibe. So we'll see. It's a ceasefire. We'll see how long it lasts. I mean, we all want a ceasefire, and it's good. It's like it's nice. It's nice. It's nice that we have a ceasefire, but it's just really, really hard for me, and I think for a lot of people at this point, to have any sort of, what's the word? Hope? Is that the word? It's really hard after a 2-year-long genocide of the Israeli. I'm kidding. Of a 2-year-long Israeli genocide, a 2-year-long genocide in Gaza, and wasn't there a ceasefire like 3 months ago? Wasn't there a ceasefire like 3 months ago, and now there's like another? I feel like I'm being gaslit. Are we being gaslit? Wait, here's the funny thing, is that we had a ceasefire 3 months ago. When did that stop? And now we get another one? You don't just get 2 in a row. Because if you try to do it again, then that means that the first one didn't happen. It's like, but that's all that these leaders have left. Is like, oh, well, we'll broker a peace deal over and over and over and over again. We'll just broker a peace deal. It's fine. And then I'll bomb you. We'll just broker a peace deal in Egypt, and then I'll bomb your country again when the news cycle has moved on. That's kind of what this is they broker a peace deal, and then the news cycle churns along and talks about, Taylor Swift, and I do too, and Charlie XCX, and we all forget about Israel Palestine. And then 2 months later, they've been maneuvering in the background to further their interests. And all of a sudden, we have another peace deal, and we're all just supposed to be so happy. We're all just supposed to. So this ceasefire comes, and we're all just supposed to like. Is this supposed to be like a breath of fresh air? Is this supposed to be like a sigh of relief? Like we're all holding our breath, and like I think that the political leaders of the world, Trump, Netanyahu, Qatar, I think that they all get together and they think that the whole world, we're all just holding our breath, waiting for them to save the day. Please save us. That's not what we're thinking, okay? I can tell you that is not what people are thinking. We are not all thinking, please save the day. Can you save us, please? Oh, you did it! You guys did it! You're gonna ceasefire! You started the fucking war! You started the war! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to announce that I've brokered a permanent ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. Thank you. Please clap. You started the war, fucktard. Hey, fucktard. You don't get credit if you're ceasefiring the thing that you started firing. This would be like if I shot a guy and then I stopped shooting him and I expect him to be grateful. Like I shoot some guy in the leg and then I'm like, hey, by the way, like I've decided to not shoot you in the head. Oh, thank you, sir. What a peaceful man you are. Hey, I know I shot you in the leg. I know you've been trapped in my basement for a week, and I shot you in the leg so you couldn't run away. But the other guys and I that kidnapped you, we were thinking that we're actually going to let you go. How about a little bit of thank you? I'm waiting. Hello? I'm waiting for a thank you? Hey, you know how we shot your children and shot you in the leg and are keeping you hostage? We've actually decided that we're going to cease firing upon you. Wow. I'm so great. You're so peaceful. Shout out to the leaders of the world on their peaceful deal. You guys are so peaceful, huh? I don't know how you do it. I'm so violent. See, me personally, I could never do what you guys do. I could never wage war eternally and then congratulate myself on a ceasefire that's going to last all of 3 fucking seconds, because that's what this is. let's watch a little bit of the. Let's get this up on the screen. Look at all these men. If you're just listening, we got Trump, we got so many flags, so much peace.
On their lands. Peace cannot be completed until hands are extended.
Let's jump to Trump.
In the aftermath of devastation.
Here they are clapping. Great job, guys. Great job. You did a great job.
President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority. See, we have them all. We have them all. Good. Great.
Can you pause
Good
it?
to have you.
And then the camera cuts to the Palestinian Authority guy, and he's like in an electric chair. Palestinian Authority president is here. We have them all. We have them all. And he's like, please don't kill me. He's like chained to a radiator. They're all in like suits, and he's like chained to a radiator. You know, this whole we're gonna watch more of it in a sec, but I want to set it up. This whole speech that Trump gives about the peace deal, it's like he's doing like a Comedy Central roast. Like, if you'll notice, he's like, the president of the Palestinian Authority is here. Hey, you look hungry. Whoa! And then it's like a roast. He's like playing this like a like a TV roast. Because he can't help himself. Let's keep listening.
And so many others. I really have a list here. This first three rows and what's standing behind me, I don't know why they chose to stand, but that's there. They're going to be very famous tomorrow, all of them. We have the Arab League is represented by His Excellency, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. We have Armenia, and Azerbaijan. That's a little war that we stopped. That's a little war. There they are. Look at them. They're sitting. When I met with them, it was in the Oval Office. They fought for like 31 years or some crazy number. And they had one sitting on that side of the Oval Office, one sitting. By the time we finished in 1 hour, they were both hugging each other. And now they're friends and they're getting along good. Look at it. So I want to thank you both.
All right.
That's incredible.
Okay. That was
really
okay.
incredible.
Okay. So he calls out Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now, if you don't know about the history of Armenia and Azerbaijan, me neither. Who gives a no? Kidding. No, I actually, candidly, do not know that much. But he stopped an alleged war that was going on between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now, George, can you do something for me? Can you please type in Armenia, Azerbaijan, CIA? Because I just want to see. Maybe we've been involved. Maybe Trump is kind of framing it in a little bit of a too charitable way for himself. Now, this might be a reach. But I'm praying to God for the bet that the CIA was involved in this somehow. So, there's no way that we weren't involved in this. And the fact that Trump is just saying that he's saying that we swooped in and Trump's trying to be like, Armenia, Azerbaijan, I didn't even know these countries existed. And now all of a sudden I get them in my Oval Office and all of a sudden the war stopped. All of a sudden the war is over. It's like, okay, let's take a look. By the way, I'm just wearing glasses today because of Palantir stole my contact lenses. Let's take a look. Current role in the 2025 peace agreement. The U.S. brokered a peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan in August 2025, which the CIA is expected to be analyzing for strategic. Okay, so that was the actual peace deal. I just wonder if we were involved in what went on there like a while ago. Ooh, here we go. Historical. Let's scroll up and let's take a look at this. Okay, so apparently we brokered a peace deal. Let's keep reading. And by the way, this is a Google AI summary, so this could all be a lie. Historical analysis and intelligence. The CIA has declassified documents from the late 1980s that analyzed the escalating conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh. Okay, maybe we weren't involved. Maybe Trump is my hero now. Yeah, let's go to the Wikipedia. Can you Command F for CIA? I just want to see because I just have a hunch. I just have a hunch that we might have been involved somehow, but maybe not. I mean, we definitely have to have had sent them weapons. I mean, we've sent weapons on both sides of every conflict since the end of World War II. It's a very profitable industry for us, and I think that is probably something that we did. But maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, here we go. First, that Wikipedia page looks juicy. Not juicy. It's a tragedy, but it's, for our purposes, it's interesting. The first, this is turned into a history show, you guys. The first Nagorno, now I'm like a racist. Mispronouncing all this shit. There was a war. It was an ethnic and territorial conflict that took place from February of 1968 to 1994 in southwestern Azerbaijan between the majority ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh, backed by Armenia, and the Republic of Azerbaijan with support from Turkey. Okay. So Turkey funded Azerbaijan. Okay, here we go. A declassified top secret CIA report on the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Okay, thank you. I think we're getting somewhere. Let's take a look and scroll down. I feel like, okay, maybe, let's see. All right, this is a huge tangent, but we're in too deep at this point. A 48-page CIA top secret report prepared in 1968 and made public in 2012 is titled Unrest in the Caucasus and the Challenge of Nationalism. Okay. Despite the passage of time, the report includes an interesting analysis of the conflict from the perspective of U.S. intelligence services. The CIA analyst, in the introduction of his reports, traced the origins. All right, I'm going to give up. Trump, you won this time. I'm going to give up because we have a lot to go through. But my point is, that declaring victory and declaring peace after you start the war, it does not count with me, and it doesn't count with the most people. Most people are going to look at this this peace summit as a political theater. It's just political theater, right? That's what this is. It's political theater. It's political theater for the sheep of the world to think that this is going to actually make a marked difference in the trajectory of the world. It's simply not. It's simply not. Were lives saved? Of course they were. I'm not trying. I don't want to diminish what actually happened, because you got to keep it real. Yes, some hostages were returned, and a ceasefire happened. That is going to save lives in the immediate. But it's not. It's not. This is a nothing burger. I don't think that people are going to forget what Israel did because of this. I mean, we brokered. This is like this is like brokering a ceasefire with Hitler. It's a ceasefire with Hitler. Imagine you like shake hands with Hitler and you're like, Hitler, I'm so glad we could come to this agreement. I'm so glad we could come to this agreement, Hitler. And then he'd be like, it's you know, it's, you don't get credit. You do not get credit. I'm giving you guys a 0. I'm giving you an F. I'm grading you. I'm giving you an F. No matter what you do, I will give you an F, by the way. But I'm giving you a double F. I'm giving you a double F, double minus. You will not move on to the next grade. You will be held back. You will be going to summer school where I will be molesting you. That's what you deserve. So, you know, where do we go from here? I don't know. I'm not a political I'm trying to be funny. I don't know where we go from here. Where do you guys? I don't know. My guess is your guess is just as good as mine. You know, it's let me ask you this. Do you think that the ceasefire will persist if Trump starts to build Trump Gaza? Because I can tell you that if Trump tries to build Trump Hotel Gaza, we're not going to have a ceasefire. The ceasefire will stop. Okay? You want to know why? Because Trump will be arming the construction workers, and they'll shoot the Palestinians. That it's bad. It's not going to work. And you know, and you might be, and here's what I've been seeing online as well. A lot of people online are saying, "Oh, well, you know, you're not giving credit to you're not excited about the ceasefire because Trump made it happen, and you don't actually care about Palestine. You don't actually care about Palestine. You just care about, you know, having a cause. You just care about having a cause, and like, you know, that's like, you don't even give a shit about them. You just want something to do. Go get a job. You don't care. You don't give a shit. Otherwise, you'd be celebrating that Trump brokered a ceasefire. Otherwise, if you really cared about Palestine, you'd be celebrating the ceasefire that Trump brokered, and you'd put these differences behind us, and you'd celebrate Trump for getting the ceasefire, but you don't act. That's what they're saying. And guess what? Guess what? Wrong. Guess what? I can care about humanity. Okay. And it's actually, it's very easy for me to admit that I'm glad that Trump brokered a ceasefire, whether it lasts a day or a year. I'm okay. No one's really doing that. It's not even about Trump, you know? It is and it isn't. It's about the fact that this is, it's even if, I would hope that even if Kamala was president, I would be shitting on it in the same way. I'll tell you that much, because we are still an ally to, we are, yes, there's a ceasefire, but we remain an ally to a country that is actually actively committing a genocide. So no, I'm not exactly like thrilled. I'm not exactly thrilled that you know, the genocide has paused for like a day. No. You know, it's you know, that's not that funny, but that's how I feel, you guys. I mean, it's the biggest news story. What do you want? I gotta talk about it. Let's make it a little bit lighter. I did speaking of ceasefires and speaking of guns, I went to Nashville. A little personal road anecdote for you guys, a road story. I went to Nashville, and I went to Nashville on I happened to be there. I went for a I went for a company offsite. Have you guys heard of these things? They're called offsites. They're called offsites because you're off of the site. And you go and it's, you know, I mean, I'm still like recovering from it. Not because I was partying, because it was like I felt like my soul was being ripped out of my body. I feel like, you know, we went to Nashville and it was just like, I mean, gosh, we went there and like, if you've ever been part of like a medium or a larger company, they'll like fly you out to like a city like Nashville or Austin or like, I don't know where else they would go. Somewhere cheap. It's usually in the South, maybe like Tampa or Miami. And you go and it's like a 2-day thing where, you know, you get to meet everyone at the company, and then the CEO, my brain's so fucked. Probably the CIA too. You go to these offsites where the CIA indoctrinates you in underground and gives you drugs that makes you feel things that makes you want to kill certain people. I went to the offsite and the you know, it's a company offsite. It just drains your soul. It drains your soul to just like have to pretend to like care about the mission of the company and what they're doing, and like, you know, whenever I'm at an offsite, I have like 7 cookies. You ever just at these company offsites, it's at like a hotel, and I'm always eating like 7 chocolate chip cookies, and I don't know, like they have a whole platter, and that's what they do is they have all this food and like here's some drinks, and you know, and that's how it's all part of increasing shareholder value. And here's what it is: company offsites very strategically add shareholder value, and let me tell you how they do it. It's very simple. They brainwash you. You show up at the hotel in like Nashville, and they go, "Here's some cookies. Here's some coffee. Here's a lunch on us at a nice steakhouse. By the way, you're fired. Here's some red wine. Here's an award show. Isn't that silly? An award show, and we're gonna give out awards for people that worked really hard at our company. By the way, you're not getting your bonus. By the way, we had to cut the bonuses. By the way, the bonus that you were gonna get is actually it's been revoked. It's been well, if you want to know the truth, the CEO is getting sued by his ex-wife, and he kind of needs the money for the lawyer. So that's why you're not getting a bonus, because of the lawsuit that the CEO is in. Did we tell you about the red wine? There's an after party. So it's kind of a party. An offsite is kind of like a party, and it's like a fun thing you can do. It's usually like 2 or 3 days long, and everyone talks about, you know, everyone just like hangs out. And there's usually like a tour, like you do all the local tourist shit. I didn't, by the way. I hung out in my room and I slept. Okay? That's how I spent my free time. But you know, it's you know, who's that one rapper, Offset? I thought Offset would be there. When they said come out to see the Offset, come out to Offset, I was like, I love Offset. But it turns out he was not there. I did go to Nashville on the same night that Post Malone was opening his new bar. And that is something that's interesting about Nashville that I didn't realize. Nashville is interesting because there's a bar, like every country singer has a bar. Like named after them. Like there's the Jason Aldean bar. Post Malone's bar is called like Posties. Gun in my mouth. Yo, you want to go out to Posties, bro? You want to go post up at Posties, bro? No, I'll put a gun in my mouth. Thanks. Yo, Post Malone's like fucking sick, bro. Like, you want to go post up at Posties and have some zin, and like, you know, and what do they? See, I'm such a loser. What do you call it when you gum a zin? I don't know. You guys tell. I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend to know. Eat a zin? It's not eat. Dip. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Yo, bro. But Jason Aldean has a bar. You know, there's so many bars in Nashville. And me personally, I don't know if Jason Aldean should have a venue, considering what happened with him in Vegas. And I will say this, you guys. I will say this. If I was Jason Aldean headlining that festival in Vegas when the shooter started shooting everyone, that's heavy, right? I wouldn't have done what he did, which is just whatever, drop his good, like, just run away like a pussy. I would have been playing. I would have been like, my truck and my beer. I would have been like, run for your lives. It would not have worked, but that's what I'm a panic. Maybe it's good that I'm like not a famous artist, because if one of my shows ever got shot up, I would not run away to my safety. I would like be like, run for your lives. I would cause so much panic. I would literally just cause panic. I feel like, there's a shooter, run for your lives. It would not work. But did Jason Aldean say the N-word? Or was that another country singer? Let's be honest, they've all said the N-word. Can you look at, wasn't there that one country singer that was caught on like a hotel security camera saying the N-word? I love NPR. How racism became a marketing tool. I think it was, I don't, let me see here. Oh yeah, Morgan Wallen. I don't even know who that is. Can we look up? Yes. Oh wait, you know what's so funny is the one that I'm thinking of. Oh wait, no, this is it. This is it. Can we listen to this a little bit? I want to see if this guy has a bar in Nashville after this. Morgan Wallen speaks out on an interview after saying the N-word. Let's take a look.
28-year-old country music star Morgan Wallen quickly rose to fame with his five-time multi-platinum chart-topping hit, Whiskey Glasses.
Whiskey. I had to talk over the song so we don't get banned from YouTube.
Cementing his place in country music. And his latest album, Dangerous, released in January, is the highest-selling and streaming album.
All right, yeah. He's very successful. Get to the N-word.
But in January, neighbors recorded video obtained by TMZ showing Wallen using a racial slur outside his Nashville home. The music world responded swiftly. Within hours, Wallen was suspended from his label, his songs pulled from the radio and streaming playlists, and he was declared ineligible for the upcoming Academy of Country Music Awards.
When did you realize that what you had done was a big deal?
My manager called me probably 2 hours before the video came out. You know, he's like, "Are you sitting down?" And no one's ever called me and said that before. I went to one of my friends has a house, you know, out in the middle of nowhere.
That's not helping your case.
Sitting in that house trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to do.
So take me back to that night.
I had some of my, you know, longtime friends in town. You know, we
love saying the N-word
all weekend, and we figured we just
say the N-word
for the 2 or 3 days that they were there.
How did this happen? Out of nowhere? You just refer to someone with a racial slur?
No, I don't think it just happened. You know, I was around some of my friends, and you know, we stayed dumb stuff together. It was, in our minds, it's playful. You know, I don't know if that sounds ignorant, but that's really where it came from, and it's wrong.
And had there been no video of the incident, we obviously wouldn't be sitting here. right now. This is not the first time you said the word. This is the word that you use frequently amongst your friends.
I wouldn't say frequently, no, not frequently. It was just around this certain group of friends, I would say.
In what way was it used?
You know, it's one of my best friends. We were all clearly drunk, and I was asking his girlfriend to take care of him because he was drunk and he was leaving. I didn't mean it in any derogatory manner at all.
There are a lot of people going to say, okay, we've been drunk. We never used the word. Even when you're drunk, there are certain things you do and you don't do. What made you think that the word was ever appropriate?
Can we look up his? Can we? I want to. He has a bar. Yes. Oh my God. Morgan Wallen's. What's it called? This bar. Wow. I'm not surprised. That's called. Is it closed? I want to see if. Can we scroll down and see if it's Is it just? Oh my God! It's open. Wow, it's busy. Google says it's busy. It's busier than usual. That's Trump's America for you. Wow. So you can just say the N-word and just still have a bar. You know, at the end of this interview, the guy would be like, you know, is the N-word something that you say frequently? Like, only at my bar. Morgan Wallen's this bar in Tennessee Kitchen. Only at my bar. I would love if here's where the culture is at right now, is like people get in the news for the wrong reasons. And then what they do is they reach out to everyone they know that they're starting a business, and they use it as advertising. That's like, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy did an interview and he's like, well, you know, man, like, I really regret what I said. I was drunk. You know where I got drunk? At my new bar, at Morgan Wallen's, this bar in Tennessee Kitchen. We're opening 7 days a week, 24/7. And one thing I can say is we value the freedom of speech, if you know what I'm saying. We value the speech of freedom. Unless you talking that gay crap. Unless you talking that gay crap. So that's kind of the vibe of Nashville. Is Post Malone a singer? Post Malone's not country. Is he? Did he start country, or wasn't he like a fuckboy? Sorry, I'm not like up to speed on the culture, you guys. I have autism and I read about AI news. This isn't my lane. What's Post Malone? I thought was like a heroin guy, like a heroin rapper. Didn't Post Malone write about, like, you know, I do heroin? That's actually country. It actually makes sense. What was his stuff? What was it? He does country now. Well, there's more money in country. It's because he wants to do. This is like a well-known meme. It's like all the rappers, all the white guys that start out as rappers. Oh yeah, that's why I want to talk about this. All the white guys that start out as rappers and hip hop artists eventually move into country because there's more money in country and there's more. It's a safer genre for advertisers. There's a whole pipeline, and a lot of them get criticized. A lot of them get criticized for doing that, rightfully so, because they start out in the world of hip hop and rap, which historically we know is music pushed and created by black people. It's black culture. And white people will start out in those genres and then move into country. And before you know it, I'm in Nashville trying to create shareholder value, and all of a sudden I see posties. All I was doing was trying to create shareholder value in Nashville. And all of a sudden, I see posties. Now, did I go in posties? You bet your ass I did. I met Post Malone. I said, I respect the shit out of you for switching to a real musical genre. A real genre. It's just, it's exhausting. I don't know. I really am going to regret this someday, building a platform based on the idea that I'll never sell out, not even a little bit, because that's a tough box. I'm really putting myself in a box here, but like, it's to open a bar Just to open a bar. Like, fuck you, bro. Shut the fuck you. You're a fucking musician. How? This is a question for every rich artist out there. How much money do you need? Answer me. How much money do you need? 10 million? 20 million? Let me know when I should stop. 30 million? 100 million? A billion? 5 billion? How much money do you need that it really, like, I cannot wrap my head around it that so many artists get wealthy on their art. Isn't that the fucking dream? Guys, I have a day job. I wish that this show made enough money so that I could quit my day job and this is all I could do. And I would love that. That is the dream. So I don't understand why. Is it that you're bored? What is it? Are they bored? You're already selling out arenas. You're selling out arenas. You have diehard fans that want to just bash down the door and kill you. That's how famous you are. That's how you know you're really famous, is you get death threats from your fans. Where your fans are like, I love you so much. I want to like feel your heart with my hands directly. But like, how do you, like, do you need to use your name and become a whore, a brand whore forever and cheapen everything you made? Do you really need to do that? Do you really need to make a bar called Posties? Do you really need to be a bar owner? I, hand to God, hope I never own a bar. If I own a bar called O'Reilly's Pub, O'Reilly's Podcast Pub, just put a bullet in my fucking head. If you see me opening a bar, it's over, bro. I've been compromised by everyone. If I open a bar, just know that Israel and BlackRock got to me. That's what I'm, because I will never open a bar. I will never open a commercial, like, just to commercialize your name like that. It just makes me sick. It's just exhausting. It's exhausting. Just make your art and enjoy your fucking Beverly Hills Bel Air property. And the reality is they're bored. They're bored of making music because they never really cared about the art form in the first place. They get famous really young with hip hop, and then they're like, I don't even like this genre anymore. I don't want to play with you anymore. Then they move on to country, and they're like, country's boring too. Maybe my real passion is, bar ownership. Oh, yeah. It really is insane how easy people will sell out. It's so insane how quickly and easily people will sell out to a brand. Like DraftKings or Zyn. That's all this crypto bullshit. You know how many artists will like sell out and do some crypto bullshit? Every artist, musicians, comedians, screenplay, movie people, everyone is just like, it's, I don't know. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. There has to be something that I'm missing. Right? There has to be something that I'm missing because everyone does it. So what am I missing? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I just... What I'm missing clearly is an email from Zyn. I'm missing an email from Zyn. So if you know anyone who works in product placement at Zyn, have them message me. Because my door is open, my asshole's open. My ass is open for Zyn. My ass is open for business, just like Post Malone. My ass is open for business. I will sponsor your product gladly. I'll use your product. I'll become a brand sponsor for you. I will do that for you because I love capitalism and making money. That is why I do this. I do this show so that the show can sell products and literally shoves in your mouth and down your throat. If nothing else, I want this podcast to give at least one young male mouth cancer. I want to give one young man mouth cancer from this show. Like, I hope this show does huge numbers and Zyn sponsors me. And I hope one day I wake up to a text message, a written message even. I hope it's written that goes something like, "Dear Sean, used to be a huge fan of you. Actually found out about Zyn through listening to your show, started on episode 298. Big fan. Big fan of what you've done with the show. I use your promo code Sean and I bought my first pack of Zyn. Well, guess what? I've got mouth cancer. Hope you can live with that, dick." And I'm gonna be like, "DJ, hit it!" Da, da, da. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. And you know what I do when I'm speechless and feeling lonely and hopeless? I call a friend. And what better friend to call than an AI friend? My favorite type of friend is an AI friend. And that's our next topic. We have so this product trailer is actually that might be the wrong. There we go. So this is actually about a year old. I feel like we might have already watched this on the show. I can't remember. But this company, Friend, has been advertising all over New York City in the subway system, and they've been getting like obliterated by the graffiti. Like, everyone's been saying like, AI doesn't care if you live or die. You know what I mean? Like, they're really hammering it in that this is not a good product. But the thing is, I read that graffiti, like someone graffitied on the AI product, and they said AI doesn't care if you live or die. I'm like, neither do my actual friends. I'm like, are you trying to get me to buy it? Wait a minute, AI doesn't care if I live or die. Like, I'm sold. But let's watch a little bit of the trailer just to get people up to speed on this. So it's a necklace that you can talk to, I guess, is what it is.
Gosh, I'm out of breath. So we made it. Woo! I don't know how to woo very good.
I want one.
That's fair. All right, let's go.
Let me show you how to game, bro, okay? Oh, come on. Oh, let's go!
Are you serious? Come on, man. I hate this game.
Take notes, baby.
Oh, man, you guys suck.
Bro, you look like the back
Let's
of the
go.
elephant.
Let's
So
go.
it's
Dude, what? How did you do that?
even the synth music is scary,
I know, the effects are crazy. It's dank. I could eat one of these every day.
Jesus.
Sorry, I got you messy.
It's really nice up here. How'd you find this place?
I don't know. I just kind of like to come up here to be by myself. I've never brought anybody else.
This is straight out of Black Mirror.
Besides her.
She goes everywhere with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I must be doing something right then.
I guess so. We'll see.
Wow. $99 for a friend. $99 for a friend is a great deal. $99. I mean, I'm literally gonna buy one, and we should do it next week on the show. We could all. Sean needs a friend. You know, Conan O'Brien needs a friend. That's the name of his podcast. Sean Riley got a friend. That was the most. If you're just listening, that was the most dystopian ad I've ever seen for a thing in my whole life. It was just different sequences of people in different life situations. And like this woman's eating lunch alone and she's like, you know, this is dank. Also, no one says dank. That's how you know Silicon Valley writers are like, that's how you know that it's fucked. We're fucked. I haven't said dank since like 2015. Yo, this rap is dank. You know what I want to do? I want to get a job at Friend. And what I want to do is I want to push a partnership with Palantir. That is what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm quitting the show. I'm quitting Sean's show. Sean's show is over. This is the last episode. Okay. What I'm going to do next with my life, I'm going to get a job at Friend. I'm going to be the chief of partnerships or COO or whatever, doesn't really matter. The day one, I'm going to get hired by Friend, the little weird ass AI necklace. I'm getting in the boardroom and I'm going to go, have you guys heard of this company called Palantir? We can make a lot of money together. You and me and friendly Palantir. I mean, let's be honest. They probably already have a partnership with Palantir. Like, I mean, I guarantee you that like this is going to happen in the very near future. You ready? Let me just paint you a picture. You wake up in West LA. You're a beautiful young white woman. You work as a production assistant on I don't know. You work as a production assistant on Succession, some really nice high-end kind of classy prestige drama. And you get your matcha latte and you put on your friend necklace. And you're walking down the street, you get your matcha latte, and you know you're talking to your friend. You're like, "What's the weather today?" Boop. The weather is 72 degrees and sunny. Thanks, friend. Boop. Walking along with your matcha. La 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 la. La 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 la. And then you see something that scares you. You see someone gardening. And you go, boop, friend. I'm scared. Is that man a citizen? Let me double check on that for you. Engaging Palantir drones! Engaging the drones! Thanks, friend. And they deport him. This is going to be used. Friend is going to be used to deport. That is my thesis. Every AI tool is going to be used to deport. That's a pretty, and if you ask me why, I'm going to be like, just trust me, bro. I don't really have a reason. I have a vibe. I'm going off my vibes. Anything you tell at any AI software it's like the new Miranda rights. Anything you input into AI can and will be used against you in a kangaroo court, in a kangaroo digital court. Because, I totally forgot. Peter Thiel, our friend, has been doing his much anticipated lectures on the Antichrist. And I don't think there's any videos of it, but maybe we can just read an article or two. But AI just keeps getting so dystopian. AI, it just keeps getting more and more dystopian every day, and it's moving so fast that it's almost hard to even stay abreast of all of the like terrifying shit that's happening with AI. It's truly crazy. And you know, I'll tell you what can make it easier on you guys is if you have a friend. So buy a friend. Use promo code Sean. Buy a friend. Buying a friend is the number one thing you can do. What better friend than a friend around your neck that you can ask questions? You know? Like, you know, should I do this cocaine that's in front of me? I want a friend. I'm gonna get a friend, and I'm gonna ask it a bunch of crazy questions because I want to see how it's gonna respond. But let's move on. Let's switch gears over to Peter Thiel. I cannot stop talking about this gentleman. He has been doing lectures on the Antichrist, which we all know is real. You guys know billionaire Peter Thiel? Hey guys, so here's some great news, you guys. Here's some great news. I have some good news. I know that it's the world is I know that everyone's stressed out right now. I have some good news for you. One of the most powerful billionaires in the world is doing lectures on the Antichrist. Lectures, seminars, whatever you want to call them. Talks on the Antichrist. Now, I like the idea of the Antichrist because it implies the existence of Christ. And when you do a talk on the Antichrist, it implies that you believe in Christ, which is also, first of all, insane, and secondly, that you believe in. I mean, I hope I want to say it one more time just so you guys can really feel the impact of the words that I'm saying, because no one really feels anything anymore. Peter Thiel, technology autocrat and billionaire Peter Thiel, has taken an interest in the biblical concept of the Antichrist. Okay? A technology billionaire has found a hobby in discussing the nature of the Antichrist. Now, this is obviously really, and he's not just any technology billionaire. He is the co-founder of Palantir, which, if you're listening to this show right now, I'm not going to explain Palantir to you. Basically one of my best performing investments. So let's look at the headline. Could you scroll up a little bit, George? So let's see. Audio. Oh, we have audio. Yes. Audio of Peter Thiel's. Oh, it's secret. So here's what's funny. If you're doing a seminar on the Antichrist and you make it secret, I'm going to think that you're the fucking Antichrist. If you do a secret seminar on the Antichrist, my first question number one, why are you making it a secret? Are you saying things are you defending the Antichrist? Do you support the Antichrist? Are you the Antichrist? But we have leaked audio from Peter Thiel's secret Antichrist seminar. Let's scroll down. I cannot wait to listen to this. Let's see if there's a little audio file. What the hell? Hopefully we can find this audio. If not, I'm sure there's a transcript. But it is pretty terrifying, guys. Ooh, these look promising. These look very, very promising, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear what our friend has to say about the antithesis Christ. You know, it's so funny. Half the videos are like analyzing it in like a positive way. Like, here's Peter Thiel, like it's a corporate LinkedIn video. Like, here's Peter Thiel's insights on like the antichrist and how it affects productivity. Here's what's so crazy. And that is what's so crazy about all these technology billionaires like Peter Thiel becoming obsessed with the antichrist is like he'll do a meeting about like productivity and like how to boost workplace productivity. And then a half hour later, he's talking about how like, you know, if you bleed onto a wolf during a full moon, you'll like summon the antichrist. That is the dichotomy of these technology billionaires these days. Is it's like in one meeting, they're like, you know, like, well, like, you know, how can we make sure that like our messaging for our customers makes sense? You know, how are we going to hit our Q3 revenue targets? And I think most important question that's all on our minds is like, you know, if you have a pentagram in the middle of the forest, is that enough to summon the mark of the beast? Do you need 5 or do you need 6 human fetuses to summon Satan? Is that you know, what makes more sense? Let's see. Ooh, this looks interesting. I wonder if this is a parody. Yeah, I don't know. That's a funny image. If you're just listening, it's Peter Thiel in like a Roman Catholic vibe. Yeah, I would love to get the audio, but if not, we can just read the transcript. I'm sure I could do a dramatic reading of it. We could even use the voice. We could even use the voice effect, little Satan voice. Oh, that looks promising. All these articles are like the audio leaked, and I'm like, okay, where's the fucking audio? That's all right. I'll just read the transcript. I'm sure there's some very fun things in the transcript that I can read. Let's see. Could you go back to the futurism one? And I'll just read off of that one. Yeah, I think. Sorry, guys. I need to get my contact lenses back. My eyes are so horrible. Okay, we found it. All right, here we go. Okay, I'll give you the signal. So I'm going to do a dramatic reading of Peter Thiel's recent lecture, where he pontificates and considers various themes under the umbrella of one of our favorite characters and probably best friend of the show, the Antichrist. And so where is Peter Thiel when he does this? He's in an he's doing a lecture, and let's I hope there's more, but let's do this. Let's hit it, George. Let's do it.
The Antichrist comes to power by talking constantly about Armageddon, about rumors of war, and scaring you into giving him control over science and technology.
Now, that sounds like that's exactly what Peter Thiel is doing. Doesn't that sound like that's exactly what Peter is doing? So the Antichrist comes to power by talking constantly. You know what? Okay, I want to zoom out a little bit because I just remembered. There's another. We don't have to pull this up, but there's another recent video that came out where Trump is on Air Force One, and the reporters are like, you know, they ask him a question about heaven, and Trump literally goes, "I don't know if I'm getting into heaven." So I honestly think that, like, you know what is so funny about actually believing in God? Here I was thinking that every politician that said that they were Christian was lying about that so that they could get the power, and they're not like fucking stupid enough to believe in the Christian God. Now, color me mistaken, because Trump went on this video and he was on Air Force One, and they go, "Are you going to get into heaven, Trump? What do you think?" And he goes, "I don't know if I'm getting into heaven." And there's like genuine concern in his voice, and I'm almost thinking like, bro, like, you actually believe in the Christian God? You believe in God? And I almost think that there's this like return there, you know, for men that are, you know, I can relate. This is about honesty. I can relate a little bit because I grew up in the Silicon Valley. I know these personalities. For the men that lust for power in the way that they do, when you lust and you covet power so intensely for decades and decades, you really do hollow out your soul. You hollow out your soul. I saw it at the Nashville offsite. I was at the Nashville offsite, and I was like, oh, like, you guys have like let go. Like, you have really like, remember, you know the sunken place in Get Out? That is like what happens at an offsite. When you go to a corporate offsite, I want to caution you, because what happens is you go to the offsite and then you fall into the sunken place. That's actually what, if you go to a corporate offsite for your job in like Nashville or Austin or some bullshit, when the CEO takes the stage and starts talking about Q3, you fall backwards into yourself. Okay, so I want to be, you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful when you're at these offsites. If you like, for me, I like to make fun of them and have a cup of coffee and have 8 or 9 chocolate chip cookies. But if you go to an offsite, like, and you want to actually try hard, you got to be careful, because you may end up in the sunken place where you've let go of your humanity. And you ever just look in someone's eyes and they've like fallen into themselves? Like, they've fallen into themselves, into like a blackness. Not like a race thing, but they've fallen like a darkness. You ever look at, I fucked that up. For me, I'd be falling into a whiteness, which is worse. So my point with that was that, like, for people that like spend their entire waking existence grabbing and coveting power at any cost, I think what's happening is, for guys like Peter Thiel and Trump, they're nearing the end of their lives. They see the death's doorstep, and I think they're looking back at their life and they're going, "Oh fuck, I did some shit," you know? And I think that is actually that there's almost this like Christian psychosis happening, where like all of these guys, they love power. They will kill you in a millisecond for more power, and they'll never think about you again. You're a number to them. You're a number on a spreadsheet. You know, all they care about is growing revenue and Q4 and fucking bitches. They care about Q4 and fucking bitches. And if you're not Q4 or fucking bitches, you better get out of their way. But now they're in their 60s, they're in their 70s, and their 80s, and their 90s. And they are, I think that like this lecture series on the Antichrist that Peter's doing, it's his like way of almost publicly like repenting. He's repenting to God publicly through these lectures. And he thinks that somehow if he warned, Peter Thiel's way of atoning for the sins of Palantir are these Antichrist lectures. He thinks that he can atone for his evils by warning the world with his secret lectures. I can't get over the fact that they're secret. Why are the lectures secret? Why are they secret, Peter? Hey guys, I'm having a secret lecture on pedophiles. Huh? Why are they secret? I'm having a secret lecture on race. Okay, maybe don't do that. But let's scroll down. I want to hear more quotes. So here he goes. In the 17th and 18th century, the Antichrist would have been a Dr. Strangelove, a scientist who did all this sort of evil, crazy science. In the 21st century, the Antichrist is a Luddite who wants to stop science. It's someone like Greta or Eliezer. What? Now, here's what I don't understand about guys like... Here's why I think that a lot of billionaires are really genuinely just people that got lucky. Is like, just think about the raw logic. Think about the raw logic of what... Even the raw like, let's throw out all this like shit about the fact that the Antichrist isn't real. I'm the Antichrist. But so in Peter Thiel's in his lecture, rock with me on this. Let me see if you guys can follow me on this. Peter Thiel does this lecture on the Antichrist, and he says that in the 18th century, the Antichrist would have been an evil scientist, right? But in the 21st century, the Antichrist is a Luddite? How does that make sense? Why? So why? How did you get there? How did you get there? So 3 centuries later, so in the 18th century, the Antichrist was an evil scientist genius, which sounds like you, Peter Thiel. But suddenly, in the 21st century, the Antichrist is someone who wants to not do science? It just doesn't make sense. And the real answer is that Peter Thiel is way more sounds way more like a Dr. Strangelove than Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, respect to her, she doesn't know math. You think Greta Thunberg knows what LLMs are? Maybe she does. I don't know. Maybe she's also smart. I don't know. She's a humanitarian. You know what? I'll tell you this much. Let me ask you this. Peter Thiel called Greta Thunberg the Antichrist in his recent seminar, which was a secret. Let me ask you this. Who to you sounds more like the Antichrist? Is it a little girl? Well, she's an adult. Is it a young woman who went on a boat, on a flotilla, to try and feed the poor and the hungry? That's option 1. Or option 2, a gay man. All right. So, to me, it's the gay man. A lot of people, they think Peter Thiel is the Antichrist because of his ventures in technology and creating a dystopian evil surveillance state. To me, it's his sexuality, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Peter Thiel's the Antichrist because that's just the way, that's what the Bible says. If you're going by the letter of the Bible, you're actually not. Here's the crazy thing. If you're going by the actual letter of the Bible, Peter Thiel isn't going to burn in hell for any of this like surveillance state, insanity, contracting with ICE to rip up families. He's going to hell because he likes cock. Like, that's crazy. That's actually a crazy book. Let's see. Is there more on this? I wish we had the audio. Oh, yeah. So Peter Thiel accuses Greta, Bill Gates, Xi Jinping. Peter Thiel calls Donald Trump the Antichrist. I mean, like, I really can't understand this. I I would love to just get inside the head of Peter Thiel. I really would, because I don't think he's onto anything. But, you know, this is almost like it's just a public crash out. That's really what this is. Peter Thiel's Antichrist lectures are just a public crash out. I think that, like, having this, you know, it's just billionaires being bored. It's bored ass billionaires. It's bored billionaires sitting around and they got nothing going on, and they're like, why don't I just, you know what? This is actually the Peter Thiel Antichrist lectures. You know, this is like the submarine, the Titanic sub that imploded. It's literally just a bunch of bored men that just have nothing better to do, and they're just like, hey, why don't I just start talking? You know what I've been getting into lately? What? The Antichrist? You know what I've been getting? Isn't that and like, this guy is worth like billions and billions of dollars. It should scare all of us. It should scare all of us that a billionaire is getting super into learning about the Antichrist. Or anyone for that matter. Now, I'm telling you this as a recovering. If you're over, here's my rule. If you're under the age of 21, random number I pulled out of my ass. If you're under the age of 21, you can be a Satanist. You can be a Satanist. You can, like, draw a pentagram in your own blood on a football field, or like go to a park and, like, do any sort of, like, Wiccan, like, get into Wicca. You know, like Wiccan. You can go on Etsy and you can curse someone. Like, if you're under 21, you, by all means, have at it. Have at it. When you're young, you should be. I was a Satanist. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that I was actually a Satanist in high school for 1 year? Then I lost my virginity? That's right. Actually, let me think about the timeline. No, I was a Satanist in like 8th grade. I was a Satanist like freshman year, and I wasn't actually like a Satanist. I didn't do any crazy rituals, but I learned about Satanism. And I learned about Anton LaVey, who was the founder of modern day Satanism. And, there's actually a 10 Commandments of Satanism, and they're pretty reasonable. The 10 Commandments of Satanism are actually like, you know, they're not bad. Can we pull them up? You know, in a lot of ways, I feel like I would welcome the Antichrist back to Earth. Because the Antichrist is, I feel like we need a good Antichrist. We need the Antichrist to come back and just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like he could add value. Can the Antichrist come back to Earth and add some shareholder value? And that's where that's where Peter Thiel loses me with this shit. Is Peter Thiel going into like an earnings call for Palantir, and they're asking him like, so Peter, how are you going to increase revenue in Q4? And he'll be like, well, I think we're on track, assuming the Antichrist doesn't return. And then we're all just supposed to be like, got it. Ooh, here they are. So we'll leave you guys with this. Remember, this is just a takeaway for you, okay? The 11 satanic rules of Earth. So this, and again, I'm proving a point with this. We've pulled up the 11, We've pulled up the 11 satanic rules of Earth. And immediately, I know all of you are thinking, Sean, like, you're fucking crazy. This is what Peter Thiel is lecturing about. A billionaire is lecturing about Satan and the return of the Antichrist. And let me see. These rules are not. These rules are going to be pretty reasonable. Are you ready? The 11 satanic rules of Earth. Number 1, Do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. All right. It's fine with me. Do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. Wow, this sounds like some woke trauma dump leftish. Number 3. When in another's lair, show him respect or else do not go there. Okay, I like that one. If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat him cruelly and without mercy. Okay, all right. That one might not be good. Maybe if a guest in your lair annoys you, maybe ask him to leave. Don't treating him cruelly without mercy might be an overstep. But par for the course with the 10 Commandments are just as like unreasonable. The 10 Commandments you read, it's like, you know, if you know, it's like if you wear wool at night, you're gonna burn in hell. Number 5, do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. You know, I think it's safe to say that all religions are fucking stupid, including Satanism. I can't believe that there's people out. Here's the crazy thing. There are people out there that earnestly believe in Christianity, which means that there are people earnestly believing this shit too, which is crazy. Number 6, do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and he cries out to be relieved. Okay. So it's like, all right. I guess I have no comment on that one. Number 7. Okay. We might get a little crazy I already read the beginning of it. Number 7 in the satanic rules of the earth. Acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained. All right. I kind of fuck with it. I thought that one was going to be bad. That one was good. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Okay. Number 9. Do not harm little children. Wow. So Jeff Epstein, he's even worse than Satan. Even the Satanists are like, bro, why don't harm little children? And Jeffrey Epstein is below Satanism. Number 10. Do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. Okay. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask him to stop. If he does not stop, destroy him. So again, those are, maybe there's one or two that I'm like, all right, maybe not. But that concludes my lecture on the Antichrist and Satanism. And I think it's fair to say that if we all follow the rules of Satanism, we can get along better as a society. And truly, guys, this is all fun and games. And if I've scared you, happy Halloween coming up. If I've scared you, just know, rest assured that Christ is not real. The Antichrist is not real. And what happens when you die is you go back to how it was before you were born, which is a vast emptiness of nothingness and unconsciousness. So that would be where I'd like to leave you guys today, is just remember that we all return to the void. We all return to the void, and there's really no need to be worried about the Antichrist. You don't need to worry about the Antichrist. We're all going to return to the void. What you need to be worried about is a friend, is having a friend, .ai and Palantir. These are the mortal... Nothing in the biblical realm is going to is more scary than in the mortal realm. Okay? Just get out there this week, and I want you guys to just have fun, atone, repent, get on your knees and repent and beg on your knees to Christ for forgiveness, because I know you've sinned. I can see through my Palantir orb that you've sinned, and I will not allow it to continue. And one of the best ways to atone for your sins is to come see me do a live stand-up comedy show. I'm actually an ordained minister. I will literally, whatever, I'll sprinkle some water on you, some weed. If you give me weed at a show, I'll sprinkle it on you. I'll say, you are now blessed, and all your sins are absolved, except if you molested a child. I can't help you there. You're gonna live with that forever. That's the show. SeanReillyComedy.com. I'm gonna be in Toronto. I'm gonna be in Austin, Texas coming up. Toronto, Ontario, Austin, Texas. Tickets are in my bio, and they're in the description of this video. And please come see me live. I'm desperate to sell tickets. The shows will be fun, so come see. If you're listening now, that means you really like the show. So come out, like the show on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, give me a comment. I'm getting a lot of 2 comments last episode. 2 people commented. Crazy. So I hope you comment again. Say hi. I like to engage with the fans, the people, love or hate. And how do I land this plane in a building? Guys, that's it. SeanReillyComedy.com. Review the show on Spotify. And I will see you next week. Stay alive. Hail Satan. Bye.
Mm-hmm.